today I'm going to be showcasing these new Ahri buffs in mid lane. This game is played in around Gold MMR on EUS servers. We're playing Ahri against Victor. Very, very tough matchup, but yeah, I'm going to be teaching you how to carry, even when you have a very rough matchup on Ahri, yeah. So the runes we're going to be taking, Second Wind with Electrocute. The reason for this is very simply, it's a tough lane matchup, and Resolve kind of allows you to get through a lot of the laning phase. Ahri, once she gets to level 7, level 9, is good against most champions. Like, no one can really beat her, so we're taking Resolve to be able to get to that point without having bled as much. So, you guys also know the rules. Whenever I play against lower MMR players, I don't interact in the lane matchup. I just don't play for trades, only play for push. That's it. So I'm going to be stepping back very defensively here. Q level 1 I really like against champions like Victor because it allows you to generate push, which means that they cannot trade with you as easily. So you can push the waves quite easily, and you can see we get into a situation here where I could potentially harass the Victor, and the Victor has a pretty tough time harassing me because he didn't hit level 2 first, right? So, very important when you're playing Ahri that you get onto the wave first and you get your Q off very, very quickly, because you want to be the one pushing the waves, because that opens up opportunity where you can trade, and it takes away opportunities where the enemy laner can trade. For example, look at how difficult it would be for the Victor to trade with me here when I've already fully one-shot the wave and he has like 3 minions that he still has to kill. If he tries to trade with me, he will be massively losing. So, I'm going to go for a ward here on the bot side of the lane. This is just to keep me safe. So we see Bel'Veth here. So I know that she's on the bot side. Victor must somehow know that I'm not going to interact with him because he tanked the entire wave, which would have been very bad if I was slapping him, but, you know, so it goes. We're going to take 2 points in Q as well at level 3. I love doing this against ranged champions because it just allows you to completely one-shot the wave again, and then you don't have to interact with the enemy laner. Again, I'm very surprised that the Victor is holding the wave here, because if I was trading with him, it would be massively losing for him. But, you know, I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he must know. But yeah, the reason you take 2 points in Q is it gives you a wave clear breakpoint at level 3, where now 2 Qs one-shots caster minions, which just allows you to push the wave a lot more easily. You can use your W as well to last hit minions, by the way, in case you end up in this situation where you're like, maybe I will miss one minion if I don't press my spells. Completely fine to use your spells to last hit minions. So, next rule that I usually give people on Ahri is whenever you reach around 200 mana, start thinking about if you need to base. So here, I've reached 200 mana. This gives me my like little flare signal of like, okay, start thinking about potentially basing. Because Ahri needs around 180 mana to crash a wave. She needs 2 Qs and then a W for the most part. So once you reach around 200 mana, that's when you should start thinking about whether or not to base. I'm gonna stay for one more wave because that's gonna give me access to tier 2 boots, which I really like going early in this matchup. Actually, no, we should probably play Lost Chapter. Lost Chapter is just the most consistent thing to be playing. This is also, by the way, going to be a Malignance game. The reason being, enemy team is on the squishier side, in which case Malignance can absolutely work. We can work as a setup champion for my teammates. I don't have to kill any frontline necessarily. Oh, actually, the enemy team, is it that squishy? These are not super squishy. They are also on the shorter range of things. Maybe Blackfire Torch is actually fine. I could stay one more wave, actually. That might give me my Lost Chapter, because this is a cannon wave. So we'll stay one more wave. Shove this in. Victor is in all likelihood basing. But I mean, you can see, we've just completely nullified the lane, and I haven't even traded with Victor once. Like, I haven't even procced my Taste of Blood. That's how you know we're just non-interactive here. So this is gonna give me enough gold for a Lost Chapter. I'm gonna sell 2 of my potions, get Lost Chapter, and call it a day. Or maybe just sell 1 of my potions, call it a day. Then get Lost Chapter. Lost Chapter is incredible, by the way, on Ahri. Once you get that, it kind of unlocks. So fun fact, you regenerate 8 gold, or you generate 8 gold while you teleport. So once you get 8 gold away, you can teleport and then spam right-click and you'll be able to buy your item. So I think Bel'Veth is on the bot side of mid lane here, so we have to be a little bit careful. We just saw her gank bot lane. Seeing that people are typing in chat makes me very happy. I have been on the Vietnamese server for 3 months, so I'm not used to people typing. We've hit level 6. Now the plan is just going to be push waves, go for roams. So as soon as I shove out the wave, I'm going to look top lane. Very important that whenever you decide to roam, and whenever you've pushed out a wave and you're like, okay, let me go for a roam, the process you should approach this with is first, miss a minion there, classic. First, push the wave. So push the wave. Then look at the minimap. Does anywhere look like it's roamable? Bot lane is the only one that has champions. Well, let's move towards bot side then. Then we move our camera down here to look. And then while running down here, we look at bot lane. This looks completely unroamable. Okay, Then we turn around and go back to mid lane. Very important that you're constantly thinking about whether or not you should be roaming when you are moving somewhere. And then we'll just shove out the wave again. Victor used his E, so I know that I'm safe standing in the wave. He's gonna try to slap me a little bit, but he's eventually gonna run out of mana. I'll just push out the wave, use my Qs, call it a day. Get my cannon minion, and then I'm gonna leave again, and we're gonna repeat. We're gonna look bot lane. This looks kind of roamable. Top lane doesn't look that roamable. Is it killable bot lane, though? Realistically speaking, we're not gonna be able to dive these two, and they're too healthy, so we're just instead gonna sit here and wait, and then come back to mid lane. And I'm gonna keep doing this. You'll see. Oh, we see Belva top. Very important that we're looking at the minimap while this is happening. But you can see, this is gonna repeat. I'm gonna continue doing this over and over and over and over again. Push the wave, fog, look at the bot lane. Maybe they're killable. And eventually I'm gonna find an angle. This looks pretty good actually. The enemy bot lane dropped very low HP. But you can see, it took 3 attempts to even like get the chance to go for this roam. I think I can ult over this wall. Then ult here. Look for the pike. Nice. Get a free double kill. Come back to mid lane. But you can see it took 3 times where I had to constantly move bot lane, give up the roam. Move bot lane, give up the roam. Because it didn't look good. But if you keep just pushing the wave over and over and over again, and you keep looking on every single wave, you'll find one of those roams. And now the game has just been completely swung like that off of one roam. Victor is probably in base, I would imagine. Mostly because he dropped quite low on mana, I saw. In all likelihood, that means he will be basing. I want to take my base as well. Oh, I could go for a plate here as well. This is too greedy, I think. I think just take my base. The plate is not going to give me anything additional. I know you want to play grubs. I need to take my base, though. I lose 1 plate, so it goes. Do I want to play Malignance, or do I want to play Blackfire? I think I actually want to play Blackfire. Just because the enemy team is actually tankier than I immediately gave them credit for. Like, Belveth gets quite tanky and she's short range. Sahin gets quite tanky. Pike gets somewhat tanky. Teemo's going tanky. Victor's going tanky. So I think Blackfire Torch makes a lot more sense because I don't think I'll have one-shot targets necessarily. So I'll need multiple rotations, in which case Blackfire Torch is good. Blackfire Torch also allows me to kite way better than Malignance would. But you can see, yeah, we now have Blackfire Torch at level 8. This is obviously a wave clear breakpoint. Whenever you have Lost Chapter plus Doran's plus an Amp Tome, that gives you a wave clear breakpoint for caster minions at level 7. Which is great. Allows you to one-shot the wave. We're going to one-shot the wave, and then we're going to fog. We got... Okay, he has his E upgrade here as well. He's playing a bit of a strange build here, I'm not going to lie. Very, very weird what's going on with this fella. I don't know what the Ruby Crystal into Lost Chapter is on Victor, but doesn't sound that good. I want to start pushing out and looking for roams. We see Belveth on the top side of the map. Again, I have proc Taste of Blood, not on Victor, but on the enemy Pike bot lane. I have not interacted with this guy once. I have not hit him yet. And you don't have to. You can just push the waves, play opposite side of lane as them, and then leave. And now we're going to look for this bot lane again. And this looks pretty killable, actually. I imagine Xerath is going to ult. We'll keep running down here in case they don't get the kill on Teemo. In which case, I will be here. Use W. Then just pop an ult here. If I have to. There we go. A bit sad that Xerath gets the kill, but it's okay. And then we're going to just run back. I just teleported on my screen, man. And then I'm just going to run back to mid lane, and I'm going to continue catching the waves. And you can see, Victor is 0, 0, 0, 10 CS per minute, and that's fine. That's all good. I'm accelerating the game. You don't have to be too worried about leaving the enemy laner in this spot. A good game for me on Ahri is when I have made the enemy laner go 0, 0, 0, 10 CS per minute, but they've been sitting on their tower the entire game, and I've been killing their bot lane. Oh, that sucks. I will have to flash this. But I can charm him into the tower, and then he dies. Good night, my brother. I don't like this play on the Victor. Maybe we can just take his flash. Oh, he dies as well. Yeah, Musty looks balanced to me, I think. Okay, now how are we going to snowball this? We're going to take the plate mid lane. Victor does have teleport, so I will probably have to push this wave and then go for my base. I can't get the next plate. I have a bunch of gold in base as well that I want to spend. Belveth comes mid lane. I don't think she kills me, but I kind of want to queue this wave. Then just grab this, place a ward in the middle of the lane. This ward is so I can see if Belveth decides to do anything funky. Oh, you're holding the wave for your Victor. That hasn't been playing the game. Ah, yes, you're freezing the wave, spending 10 seconds of your time, and Victor's gonna collect the wave. Yeah, that was worth it for sure, man. Gonna teleport back to mid lane, grab a pink ward, grab a sweeper. This ward is just to see which side of the lane Victor's gonna lean. Now here, I will be very, very passive. My ult is 8 seconds off cooldown. Wave is on the enemy side of the lane. I have absolutely no vision around the mid lane, and I don't know where the enemy Pyke is, and he's a champion that roams. So I will just sit back and do nothing. Just wait for my ult to come up, and then I can look to walk up and pressure again. And now I can take some vision around mid lane as well. I can go for a little pink ward down here. Now we see Pyke as well. Victor is here. We see Pyke bot lane, so I know that he can't be mid lane. Victor is doing something very funky with his build, that's for sure. Take this, and then again, we will just leave. Push out the wave and leave. We're just gonna look at the bot lane. This looks diveable to me once again. And now we also have tier 2 boots, which means we can go for these roams a lot more consistently. So I'm probably just gonna ult over the wall here and look for the Teemo. He should die. Nice, he dies. Look for the Pyke next. There we go. And then we're just gonna come back to mid lane. And you can see, I'm winning the game without interacting with the enemy mid laner. I want you to understand that if you constantly just push the wave and look for these roams, you're gonna accelerate your teammates on repeat. And the enemy mid laner does not get to impact the game, which is how you win the game. This is giving my teammates a massive advantage. We've just broken the bot lane tower because of this, and I've roamed bot lane 3 times in 12 minutes. And I have not hit the Victor once. I haven't hit him in lane. Even when he died, I didn't get an assist on him. I didn't hit him. Because I don't have to. I can push the waves and then just leave. Now, of course, if the enemy... Oh, dear God. Just don't worry about the spells, man. Sometimes you miss spells. It's all good. Now, we're reaching this stage of the game where first tower has been broken. That means I'm going to be heading into bot lane. I might need to take one more mid wave here. I know my Smolder wants to play mid lane. But this bot wave is a little bit dodgy. So I'll go... I know. I understand. Brother, I understand. But I will take one wave and then I will come. And then I will leave. But I need to take one wave here so we don't bleed it for no reason. And then I can run bot lane now. Never mind, there's a Bel'Veth here. And then I can go bot lane now. Maybe I can catch the Bel'Veth over the wall. Somehow I missed my spells on both, which is very impressive. My Master Yi is fed now as well, which is great. Oh, scary. Maybe wait a bit here. Play it slowly. Maybe Charm here. Nice, hit the Teemo. I think my Yi dies to Pyke here. He does. There's someone over the wall. I can Q, then run away. I am completely so I have nothing. I think just take my base here. We're gonna push mid lane, take my base. Xerath is gonna take the entire bot wave because supports love taking your wave for absolutely no reason. Cheers, bro. What am I gonna do? So this is when we start entering mid game, where you need to think about which lanes can you go to and where do you go to get resources. So here, bot lane, wave is too far out. Mid lane, my Smolder is already mid. Top lane, wave is too far out. So here there's no good place for me to go. What you do then is then you look for a play around mid lane. So here, I'm gonna open top side mid because Herald is spawning. So I want to control the top side of mid. So I'm gonna open here and I'm gonna look for a play while I wait for bot lane to get pushed in, while I wait for whatever's happening on the top side of the map. I wait for something to happen. And then we sweep this area. And then we just wait. Looks like the entire enemy team is chasing topside, in which case I'll just take the mid wave. But you have this opportunity where you can look for a play where you're not going to be bleeding resources. And then, you're obviously on a timer when you do this. After you've done that, then you go collect waves. So I take mid wave, then bot lane. I need to collect the wave down here as well and apply some pressure. But you can see, Victor is ahead of me in CS. But he has not been doing anything in the game necessarily, right? And this is what's important when you play Ahri. You can make enemy champions feel like this, where the game is just moving too quickly for them to do anything. Now my teammates are doing Herald. I want to keep an eye out on whatever's going on up here because I do have teleport. But my goal is just to push out bot lane here. My goal is to push out bot lane, and then I'm going to look to move into the enemy jungle and see if I can create a pick or maybe take some vision control over the bot side of the quadrant or look for a play on mid lane. We are playing W max as well because W was buffed, so I want to play that. But I'm going to move around here, and then I'm going to sit here and wait. And I'm probably not going to kill anyone here. In all likelihood, I will not be able to find a kill. But there is a world where Sahin overextends a little bit too much, and I can kill him with my Tryndamere, although my Tryndamere seems very enamored, I suppose, by the wolves, so it might not be possible. Does he want the Victor matchup? Maybe he wants Victor matchup, in which case I'll go mid. Seems very odd that I'm running into a Sahin here, but yeah, sure. Maybe I can kill him. Don't know what this champion does. Think I can ult here and it works. Charm. Ult. Wait, he lives? No way, right? Okay, get out. Victor's bot side. So I will just take my base here. I feel like my Tryndamere was way more useless than I thought he would be, to be honest. I thought that he would kind of murder Sahin. I guess I will teleport bot lane here to make sure that I collect the wave and to also ensure that we're not going to be taking this or losing this tower. So let's take this. Yeah, my Tryndamere, I feel like he kind of... yeah. He took wolves, which meant that he was very late on the play. Okay, now I don't have teleport, I don't have my ult available, so we have to be slightly careful. I could be getting trapped by both the Victor and the Pyke, and that can mean that I die. Now we see Pyke on the map. I'm staring at the minimap while this is going on, by the way, to figure out where the enemy champions are and to figure out if they're coming down to kill me. So, who can be bot lane right now? Literally only Sahin and Victor. Okay, I feel pretty safe against that 1v2. I now see Sahin mid lane. I now see Victor mid lane as well. That means absolutely no one can be on the bot side of the map, so I can very, very safely walk up and push this wave. Now my goal is going to be to apply some pressure on the bot side here. Where the fuck are you going? Yeah. We're mad for no reason. Sahin is the only one that can be here. Sahin can fly over this wall and try to kill me. But I have ult available, so I feel pretty good about this situation. You might be like, why are you not running up here to try to join the fight? This fight is going to be over and decided by the time I even get up there. So it makes way more sense to me to just apply pressure on the bot side of the map. And regardless of what happens up there, I'll be getting waves bot lane and I'll potentially be taking their tower, depending on if someone comes down to match me eventually. And looks like no one is going to come down here to match me because the enemy team actually sort of lost the fight up there because they overchased, which means now I get a free tier 2. And you might be like, that doesn't seem that good. Well, this tower is worth 2 kills. And I got 2 waves as well. I am massively far ahead of the game right now. You can see the items here. Like, my Yi is Omega fed, 8 kills, and he is behind me in terms of actual gold value. I want to run Deathcap next. But he's actually behind me in terms of gold value. I just can't actually spend my 1,000 gold to get my large rod because it's expensive, you know. It's a bit expensive. Victor has 2 items here, but they're 2 scaling items that have barely started ramping. So I feel pretty good about this situation. We want to play around the dragon. My goal here is going to be to try to see if I can find a spot where I can stop the enemy team from contesting. So we see Bel'Veth on the bot side here, so I'm going to trap this bush right here, just to make sure she cannot get up to this objective very easily. So she cannot contest the Drake. She might still be down here. I would be very doubtful, but maybe she is. But I just want to push this. We have no one covering top lane here, so we might actually bleed a top tower, which I would be a bit sad about. So do I have to base here? No, my Tryndamere is surely going to go up there. Yeah, he will be. Now we need to be a little bit careful. We saw that the Pyke could be down here. Okay, now we see Pyke mid lane. Let's monitor this mid lane situation. Do we think a fight is going to break out here? It looks very, very likely, right? The enemy team is just sprinting at our boys, so looks very likely that a fight will break out. So let's run towards here. See if we can find an angle. Missed the charm. Classic. I still think I can chase Sahin here. Wait for charm to come up again. I don't know his cooldowns, if I'm honest, so I don't know if that should be it. He should die here. Take my base. I have done my job. I have dealt my damage. Let me take my base and let me go collect resources. So I'm gonna base and then just run top lane. And then I can start collecting waves up here and we can start repeating what we've just been doing. But you'll see the main goal is like collect minions, push waves, and then move to make plays. That's it. Whenever, like, that's all we're trying to do in the side lane. Or during the mid game. We're collecting resources and moving to create plays. Those are our 2 main objectives. And that's what we're constantly trying to balance. Like, when can I collect resources and when can I go join fights? And when can I look to set up fights? So right now, Atakan is spawning and I'm on the top side of the map, which is obviously not ideal because I want to be on the bot side. I want to be controlling the quadrant of the next big neutral objective. So we have to be slightly aware of this. I am seeing 2 people on the top side of the map as well here. Maybe we are a little bit aware of this. Wow, this guy is just the best movement of all time. I horribly misplayed this. Let's just not even think about it. Let's just not even worry about the fact that I missed everything. Let's just not think about it. Okay, enemy team can still be running top lane with Pyke here. So I need to run away. We should realistically be getting Atakan here. I'm just very scared of Pyke running all the way to chase me, which I can die to, and I have a massive bounty and I don't have my ult. I don't really want that to happen. Could run mid lane here to defend the tower. I could also just sit here and wait. I think I'm just gonna sit here and wait for Sahin to push out the wave. Sometimes not doing anything is the best play if you don't know where enemy champions are. Just sit and wait. Okay, now we see Pyke on the bot side, so now I feel pretty safe walking up again. Looks like we got the Atakan. That's great. Maybe be a little bit annoying to this guy. No intention of actually trying to fight him. Just gonna chunk him out a little bit. I want to push this wave again. And Victor is scaling. We're exactly the same CS. He has been collecting minions. The problem is he has not been in any fights. Like, he has just been useless the entire game. His area has dealt 400 damage. So he has not been doing anything. Now, when you're in the side lane and you're applying pressure, very important that you also sweep the enemy jungle. I might have to use my ult here, which is all good. I think I can kill this guy in the 1v1 as well. Okay, he flashes. Let's just leave. Sahin is chasing me as well. Let's just run away. I have a bunch of gold. But very important that you sweep the enemy jungle, because this is how you're going to create picks. You're going to move into the enemy jungle, you're going to sweep it, and you're going to wait for someone to come up and try to match you, and then you're going to one-tap them. Either that, or you're going to sweep the enemy jungle, the enemy team has no vision, and you're going to like threaten an objective, for example a Baron here if you're controlling the top side of the map, or the enemy team steps up on mid wave while you have this entire area swept, and you can find an angle on the mid lane. So here, where should I go to collect resources? Mid lane, right? It's the only obvious spot to go because that's where we have a wave and where no one else is. My teammates are committing very, very hard on the bot side of the map. Looks like they are gonna die for funsies, which is great. So I guess push this out. Oh, Victor, scary Villa. 2 items. I'm almost 3 items now. Pyke. Electrocute isn't gonna proc. I might have to flash here, which happens. I will get my ult pop here. Should be good enough to kill the Bel'Veth. Oh, barely missed the charm. Well, she barely dodged the charm. If my ult was up there, she would obviously die. So how do we actually want to close out this game? I can sit here and try to bait the Pyke. He might try to hook me. No, he does not. The way that you usually end up closing out games, by the way, is you control 1 quadrant of the jungle, you sweep the entire area, and then you wait for someone to phase check you. Usually the enemy support or the enemy AD carry. So I've swept this area. I know it can't be warded. It's around mid lane. It's on the bot quadrant because the Drake is spawning, and that's sole point. And I'm just gonna sit here and wait. Realistically speaking, I should have probably taken that mid wave so I could base for death cap, and I would have enough, or I would have death cap on Drake spawn. That probably would have been the best decision, but sometimes we make bad decisions. And now this gives me the option of going over and killing the Teemo as well. I don't even have to hit a spell on him. I can just auto attack him to death. Now I can leave. I want to sweep this area again. Make sure that we don't have any Teemo shrooms around. And then sweep this entire area. My Yi is going to do the Drake. I don't need to hit the Drake. I just need to stop the enemy team from contesting. So I'm going to sit right here. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to channel my base because I do want to base for death cap here as well. But I can cancel my base in case I need to. Now we have Ocean Soul. Base for death cap. Open through mid lane again. Why do we open through mid lane? Because top wave is quite far out. Tryndamere is already bot lane. And we do want to control the top side quadrant, I think. Looks like my teammates are forcing a play on the bot side, which seems a bit dodgy. I don't have ult, so I don't really want to fight this, if I'm honest. Ahri without ult is kind of a caster minion. Okay, looks like the wave top lane is far enough out now, but looks like my Tryndamere actually wants to go top lane, in which case I will not go top lane. I don't want to be sharing resources with him. Now I have my ult coming up, so I feel pretty comfortable TPing in here, maybe. Maybe I can find the Victor. It is funny that he's just a level up on me as well. And I missed everything there. And I missed everything again. But so it goes. It doesn't matter. He's a level up because of Rod of Ages, right? Okay, let me help you, bud. There we go. I could have held my Yi a bit earlier as well, but you know. So it goes sometimes. Oh, that was a charm that went to Narnia. That was a Q that went to Narnia as well. If any of them hit, he was dead. But it's all good. We will just threaten the end instead. Hit 1 spell challenge? Absolutely failed. But you can see, right? Like, the Victor just kept on scaling, but, like, he's scaling into a game where I'm accelerating the game very, very quickly, and he does not get to impact the game. Like, the game is over before he gets to his spike. And it looks like I'm dead here, which kind of sucks. Oh, maybe I live? Oh my god, Ocean Soul, it's just, you're so beautiful, you're so pretty, you're so sexy, Mr. Ocean Soul. Oh my god, and it live. Oh my god, Ocean Soul and passive. Oh, hell yeah. Time to snipe him with a charm? Nah, of course I can't hit a charm. Who do you think I am? Legit Korea? I don't hit my spells. That's something only for that fella. I miss all my spells. But this time we hit it. Oh, and we actually did. No. Please let me at least get rewarded for hitting this spell. Thank the heavens. And yeah, there you go. Like, top lane was losing. Bot lane was not winning. But after we roamed bot lane 3 times and killed the enemy bot lane 3 times, all of a sudden they were winning. And the enemy jungler couldn't play because we just constantly pushed in waves. And oh my god, now we're peaking in gold score as well. It's a Christmas miracle. I don't think I will have highest damage. Oh no, I actually did as well. But you can see, these are the sorts of games, like, they happen very consistently if you play like this. You will get these games where you just absolutely control the entire game without ever having to interact with the enemy laner. And especially at the lower end of the ladder on control mages, people will let you get away with doing stuff like this, where you can just shove every single wave. Of course, I'm sure you've seen the previous Victor VOD I had where I tried to do this in the on Vietnam, where the enemy Victor just fist fought me and killed me level 3. That can happen as well. Obviously, play around what the enemy laner is doing. If they're good, they'll force you to trade. But you don't have to. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. See ya. Oh, also, if you have questions, there's a Discord in the description. You can just join that. But yeah, see ya. Bye.